So the question is often opposed, like, what are we supposed to do about these common forces that are against us and against humanity? Stand up to tanks? Well, yeah, the answer is yes. You are supposed to stand up to tyranny in however you see fit. Yes, you have to protect freedom in this country at all costs. So the answer is yes. If you think I'm worried about what these psychopaths have against humanity, I'm not. Because the forces of evil are already defeated in the fact that Jesus was stabbed and hung on the cross, or hung on the cross and then stabbed, or beat severely and hung on the cross. Just humanity, you're fucked. That's just all there is to it. So I don't have time for these psychopaths thinking that they have anything on us in any kind of way. So I don't care who they want to kill or threaten anymore. What do they want to do? Like force your own hand onto the hydrogen bomb that drops the bombs on the world? I don't care. I'm not backing down because I've seen how many people have been like killed, threatened, and I've been studying that kind of thing. And it's just daunting to me that people don't have any kind of courage or bravery. Yet they're like, we live in the land of the free, the home of the brave. Oh, yeah, okay, it's so free and it's so brave. That's exactly what we are. No, I totally disagree. And you don't even care to know why. But it's mainly because of all these things that have happened. Because I know what this country of ours can do to people. I know that these weaklings, they're henchmen who just have no balls anymore. Their balls are stripped by the state and by the encouragement of financial assessment gains. It's just hideous. People have zero courage to do anything but look up to the country for what they do. Blah blah, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. They're the exact replica of what our founding fathers had forewarned us about. I didn't stumble across anything when I stumbled across truth. And truthfully, if you've known the kinds of things that I've witnessed and seen taking place in this country, just within my own life, through covert operations that are going on to silence people like me, who have been already actually killed for believing the way we believe in the first place, to be true to honest, true to our hearts, because our lives have been stripped from us, hacked, misaligned, made shift over here, pushed there, pushed everywhere, and then on top of it, you're being poisoned. Fuck these people. Fuck these criminals. They come in and they steal up on your life. They play as if they're already half dead because of everything that they've already done to you. You're just a fucking idiot to these people. Easy to control, easy to manipulate. You're hacked, you're misaligned, you're being pushed, you're being prodded on, you're being forced here, forced there, forced out of any kind of way that you can make yourself come out of the blight. I'm in a blight right now. Fucking lose everything. Thanks to the fucking deadening of the crippled system that can't see for how these things could even go on. My life over and over and over and over again. It's bullshit. So I have to live my own life and feel like I have something to be liberated from before I die. Even if I only get 12 minutes left of my actual life. But I fight. Because in my life I've been assaulted. Been assaulted by these psychopathic people. The psychopathic creatures that they put upon me, or that they led into my life. And then they have zero accountability to care about anything I'm actually saying or suggesting is real. Well, how are they going to deny the proof when I have the fucking proof? When I've seen the things. You can't tell me that I'm fucking going out of my mind. You can't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. And then they want to erase the horrible wretched pain that's going on within the truth in this country by erasing us, by erasing the truth keepers, the truth tellers, people out here taking place in the umbrage to do these kinds of works because of the places that they've been led into. I don't want to fight until my dying breath, but I'll fight until my dying breath if that's what it takes. I'd rather die upon my feet than die upon my knees, because I'm not afraid of what these psychopaths are doing anymore. I'm not afraid of what they're capable of, as I've witnessed the kind of horrific violations that the laws can do to these people in today's country. And in today's country, these people are no countrymen of mine. These people are flat out cowards. They have no grit to be called human beings and supposedly have any kind of representation for mankind at all. They don't. They never have. And yet they want to be represented as such, as we should be looking up to them. No, you shouldn't be looking up to them ever. Just look up to Jesus. Look up to people that are actually trying to make a difference in the world. Not these people and their henchmen that are going about doing these insidious acts. Just because something is staged up and set up is okay in this world, caused by the Central Intelligence Agency or any of these other agencies that cause for manipulation, that cause for that blight, that push for their agenda, that play on both sides of the wars, on both sides of the coins, saying things like that. These people are sick people. So I don't care which side you're on going into war. You're going to war, it's just you're going to be going up against a drone. The drone is going to come overhead. Boom, there you are. Done. Well, that's what people want to protect in this country. If you were in the positions that I was in, you'd see the kinds of things, and you'd see the kinds of things that are causing me to have question to the condition that we're actually living in. Condition that I'm actually living in. And if you saw the kinds of horrible things that these people are coming out to say these days and have the courage to try and do something about, you'd fight as hard as me, if not harder, because there's just too much pain going on in the world today to not be able to have sympathy pains because of it. If you're not aware enough about those kinds of things to have those kind of sympathy pains for your fellow brethren that are being pushed into urban blight and pushed into these situations, I don't feel sorry for any of you when these things come crumbling down on these men, and then all of a sudden your rights are being stripped away and you're not going to have anyone to protect you. I wouldn't feel bad one little bit, because no one's doing anything to give a shit about the people that are actually out here saying that these things are happening to them. I'm sure you're feeling it though, because in my opinion, when one person is feeling duress on the levels that we are in today's society, I think you all are feeling it, because that's what happens when you get connected to truth. You get that gut instinct that you feel grateful for, the fight that you're in, to fight faced with instead of discouraged in a far removed from the real fight. Instead of being far removed from it, you're actually encouraged to fight it, because you know the reason that you have with the Lord on your side, with reason on your side, and what you're fighting for, and you're fighting for freedom. Most people have no clue what true freedom really looks like, and nor should they think that they really have an idea of what it truly looks like, because none of us are currently living it today to even know what true freedom could ever feel like, what it could ever do for our lives, or how it could somehow bring out the world of hurt that we're in right now, or bring us out of the world of hurt that we're in right now. But there would be none of this, I have this or that, and I can do this or that, somehow, all of these people are better than another person, being that they have whatever they have to be able to monetize off of people's starvation, monetize off of people's poverty. And that's basically what they're doing, because they're creating incentives, people to push people into homelessness, because the state pays aid for the governmental assistance to these places that get your signature to go into their places, and that's how they get money. They're not giving it to the people. They're not giving the aid to the people, which it should go to. Instead, they're giving it to these subsidized areas. They're otherwise stealing that money away from the American people and putting it into other people's hands that are ultimately getting rich off of people in that way, where it's like there's no actual incentive to allow you out of that urban blight. There's actually no incentive to allow you out of homelessness. Their goal there, in other words, is just to keep you there. Their goal, in other words, is not to allow you to leave. Their goal there is just to strip you of your ability. You see what I'm saying? And then the cost of living continues to go up. So no matter what money that they're giving you for general housing assistance, and you're signing over for that check to be made, one way or the other, none of it goes to you. When in all aspects of the matter, there's no way that your rent and everybody's rent should cost as much as it is to house that many people, and then none of that money is being gone to set aside for these people for when they leave. Not a single dollar, and yet they can call themselves a charity or whatever. No, you guys are just getting rich off of the homeless. So it just creates if you ask me, it just creates a vacuum of the availability of pushing people into urban blight and being able to make money off of it. It's completely fucked, if you ask me, for considering it a fucking way of charity at all. It's not a way of charity. It's a way of stripping people of their humanity, people, and people are so fucking idiotic to not be able to see that. It's dumb, because the money should be going to these people, not the people that are signing for the money to be created, not to the people that have created the housing. Maybe a portion of it, but if it costs that much to house that many people just for lights and the donations that they get, and not even any of those donations really go to the people. All of the things that are donated to them, if they're like Nike, Puma, and they got name brand stuff, those are the first things that all the employees go through and grab first dibs on. Everything that goes to the homeless is just what we don't want. So how is that again charity? That's not charity. That's legitimately someone's bringing your charitable contribution to the table for the people that are there, and instead the people that work there are grabbing the stuff. That's not charity. That's not how charity is supposed to be run. So anyway, it's just moving to me, because some people will ask me, what would I like my life to be like, or what would I like to see happen, or how would I like life to go on if I could have more power of assertion and control with these things. And I have a full dream that's compressed with a lot of different areas of how to move about oppression and how to move about this situation of the condition that we're in. What is the condition that we're in? It's human slavery. That's what they've been working on for a long time. That's where artificial intelligence is going to eventually go. So I know that with what people are looking at these days, I know far too well the kind of pain that we're going to be faced up with if we allow this deep state to continue to keep working along with the shit brigade that it's creating in people's lives, because this shit runs deep. This shit runs too deep. And then it's being commercialized for people in ways to be able to act out these ways. I mean, it's basically being able to take people against their will and set them up against this dungeon with all these kinds of people and all these kinds of insidious acts people are willing to go to in this country. Caging innocent children, caging innocent people without any consequence whatsoever. None. They just continuously get away with their kidnapping human beings against their will, and then anybody in their way, their bloodlines get censored, cancelled, erased, whichever way that they have to. It's a satanic ritual house of these Satanists and these statists that have their way with these political regimes and they're guarded. They're well guarded. For their ritual chambers to just go on with no consequence, that the satanic raping performance of otherwise violence could be conducted there. And then while these things go on definitively in what the world is, it's utter trash. Definitively, you people are gutter trash. This is what people are sticking up for, because that's what people are protecting. That's where the people have the highest security. It's not for your benefit. It's not for your banks. It's not for your income. It's not for your safety. It's not for your property. It's not for your rights. It's not for anything that has to do with you at all. It has to do with protecting themselves from you. So I believe that it's not suggesting these things lightly on this account of the matter. If it's something that we should otherwise do, rather it's taking it to a point of putting it out there that is to show that how corrupt and wicked these people are today, and to show people the truth about what we are setting up against, because it's to know definitively what it is that we are up against. Name it. Be able to talk on it. Be able to speak on it. Have your own silly beliefs about it, regardless of what it is, and be able to be okay having those set beliefs. Rather, they would be known firsthand if they were to truly go up and stand up against this country for the things that they are doing. They would know firsthand. For anywhere else is in the world, firsthand the satanic ritual abuse that is taking place, and it's happening all over the place, and all over countries as well, not just here in America. These places are tight-knit, controlled places that these people have, where they I don't know how they all operate and run, but I'm just saying that this is actually what we're up against. And dissidents in this country are actually up against these forces that aim to secure the minds and hold on the fuckery of the horror film play. Hold on the fuckery of all these people that are trying to come out with the truth. Hold down the fort, basically. Snuff them out each and every single way that they're made possible to. Or anyone else that is said to have a powerful voice enough to be crazy enough and humble enough and meek enough to come out there and say these things, talk about these things. But these people are crazy, horrible people. These people are crazy, crazy, horrible people. And they have crazy, horrible power. And so right now in the world, it's not to care. It's not to suggest that you care not about the people. You care about the fact that they're being overrun by the demonic entity, the demonic realm, the demonic mind, thinking that no matter what fuckery and money they can fucking stuff in their fucking dick, they can fucking get away with this shit. I mean, this shit had me fucked up literally for so fucking bad in my life because of the shit that's happened to me in my life. So I'm not gonna go around fucking tiptoeing around it with anybody. I give a fuck about the ways that these things are going on, and I give a fuck about the way that these things are happening, and that these people don't, and that people out here don't give a fuck. I care that people don't give a fuck about an outright lie and an outright force that is ultimately set out to ultimately destroy us. Treat people, regular people, as criminals in this country. Because we're not going to be okay with the policing powers that are willing to take on and perform a life that's living in that cage-ass hell. Look around at all the people that have led this country into where it's gone to today. And how has it been? And it's like, if you think that we're living in a true freedom-bearing country, look again. Are you really kidding? Like we're living a true life at all? Maybe some of you have been able to, but I'm not out here living no fucking fairy tale, believing in all the fucking facts that these people are supposedly making up for my life. It's all a lie, and this whole country is a lie. And if they want to believe in that truth, that's a lie. You're being extracted at the soul level. You're literally being extracted at the soul level, and you're being murdered to believe that in this country you have that freedom from the kind of chaos this world is ensuing. Don't. It's a seriously horrible pet play to watch out and see wrenched up in this kind of way in the world, where it's taking the greatest joy and the greatest happiness and the greatest things that life can ever offer us as far as humanity goes all together, and it's just stripping it clean, wiping it off the map. And that's the saddest fact right there. So I know we're going to mention Jesus, and I say this in my stories because I bring up Jesus as an example of my work, and I'm not propagating any kind of religious background here. Everyone knows my religious views. I'm not propagating any of that kind of Christianity onto somebody is what I'm saying, as I'm just using Jesus as the pedestal, the example, as that form of dissident in this country, as in chronological order from the ways of history, as a historical figure, whether or not Messiah or not, whether or not the son of the Creator. I'm talking about a story portrayed in the New Testament. The actions performed here in the teachings propagated as historical or allegorical in that figure of Jesus Christ. So take it for what it's worth, but I'm not suggesting to anybody to think any particular way or to make them feel any specific way. I'm just telling people as an example, that's a very valid one, I might add, as to the teachings that people don't want to look at here just because he's a religious figure. I simply go to refer about how the Old Testament, or how the story in the New Testament, tells us what it portrays or what it's trying to teach us as humanity, as human beings. So we're going to look at Jesus, the founding fathers, and the revolutionaries who fought in the Revolutionary War. We're going to talk about the black slaves of the Civil War era period of America, and a recent finding that is to deal with that the blacks weren't actually slaves. It was the whites that were slaves, and everything that you were being taught in school and throughout history, if you just reverse and put it in exact opposite order or whatever, it actually makes more sense to history, and they're actually finding pictures of these things. So I don't think that people know what their own history is. I don't think people know so much what their own history is because we're being taught out of an anarchist type of cookbook way that's to educate us on how to live up to the point of setting us free, teaching us nothing about money, teaching us nothing about how to actually construct anything that compounds interest, compounds money, or allows a person to become free at all. And even if a person is willing to break free, work hard, stress all day, every day to get out and break free, oftentimes these people are destroyed. Oftentimes these people are hacked. Oftentimes these people are ending up being on the run, or like Edward Snowden being in hiding because of the things that they're willing to come out and say. I just don't believe that should be the case. I really don't. And if it is, I guess so be it. Crucify us all. You guys got enough guillotines, got enough money, you guys got enough whatever anarchist movement you want. Once the last Christian is gone, go ahead and keep thinking that your heads aren't going to be rolling off your own pillows. They are. Because the rule is that, in my perspective, the rule is that there needs to be someone praying in order to keep your heart active, in order to keep you alive. Without those very things happening, I mean, there's no chance that anyone would live. So the idea here is easy. It's all about no masters and no slaves. It's not hard. It's not hard to see. But the best meme online, I would say, is I am me, I am free. I declare my independence as a sovereign human being. I do not consent to being governed. I commit no crime, as I harm no other. I do not subscribe to any labels or dogmatic ideologies. I treat anybody as brother or sister. I am me. I am free. And I think that's pretty good. It's kind of what we're after here, is because people don't really understand that stuff. They think that the real anarchists are the people out there that are going to be looting places and doing all these insidious acts, when oftentimes these people don't understand human decency. They don't understand where we're trying to go as human beings in the first place. They see it as an opportunity, or they are basically taking Universal Studios to the streets, where all of these acts and a lot of these insidious acts can be highly paid for. That's what crisis acting is, and that's what creates a false flag event. Because what makes it false is that it's created for the media to create a storm around, and then the storm goes on for months, days, years, however long it goes on for. You see, so they control people's minds in this way. They've been doing it a long time. They've been working in mind control for the longest time. So what the real anarchist believes is that we can't have a ruling class and ruled class of people while still calling us a civilized civilization at all. Because what's civil about that civility when it's not civilized? There's nothing civil about it. We're not in an actual civilization. We're a class that's ruled as a master class and cannot and will not ever be free. The masters have their slaves, and so we're not going to talk about slavery in this country, are we? No, we're not, right? It doesn't exist. It's not how you're thinking it is. Just hang up on that idea. It's just anything but rebuttal to get you to believe the economics are as just and the way we're supposed to accept them, and that in the Bible it teaches us to accept these things, and we have to go be law-abiding people. But I believe on the contrary, when you're seeing the example of Jesus, and you're also taking out the fact that there's a big leaflet of the Bible ripped out of the Bible that, lo and behold, taught people about how to pray and how to actually make for changes in their world through prayer, through the Lord's will, over man's will. The Lord is in power. So in all allegorical sense of this story, Jesus was a dissident who opposed the three major institutions of slavery in his day, the same institutions of slavery in his day that run in his day, which still perpetuate human slavery of today. Nothing has changed since that day when the story of Jesus has been written, and when it was all put together in the Bible in the first place, when the 53 scholars came together to put the King James Bible to put it together. The same institutions that were running over these things 2,000 years ago are still in control of the same institutions running today. And these are what we call the unholy trinity. The unholy trinity is basically religion, money, and government. Religion is the father, money is mother, and the government is child. Thought control perpetuate of ignorance based on belief, not in search for truth, controlled by a darker occult priest class, and the essence of all mind control, basis for the old world term or the world order term, or how they're actually trying to change the Reformation or the bringing back of Jesus Christ in this world and turning it into Reformation or the world order or the new order. That's not exactly it's not exactly appropriate to change those words in the Bible, folks, because we're not talking about New World Order in the book. We're talking about Jesus is coming back to earth. And then money, the mother, emotional control, perpetuates apathy, the new God for which human beings entirely devote their care, attention, energy, and ultimately create their religion around, basis for their new world order. So when people don't believe in religion, they say that they're not religious. Oh yeah, you are. You're religious all day, every day. Look at what you do for money. You believe wholeheartedly in money. That's a belief. That's religion. So people that simply state that they don't believe in religion, they are religious. Government child is the bodily control that perpetuates cowardice upon the earth, erroneous belief in the authority they have to perpetuate this kind of control over other people as property, violent enforcers and other, fathers the occultists, and the mother, money, and ultimately create these banksters that run the world for their new world order. So Jesus was a dissident against these masters, father, money, and the mother, government of that child. Government. Big baby government of God being bigger than it. And again, until the next one, stay safe, my friends. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you learned something along the way here, because it's a lot of information and it's just meant for educational purposes only. Either way, I hope you stay blessed and stay safe, my friends.